How is this girl accidentally being so cute? Really, Char? You're pondering on how somebody can be so accidentally cute. Hey guys, Cyclonic Flame here and welcome back to Doki Doki Literature Club. This is episode 2, and when we left off, we sold our souls for a cupcake to end up in this literature club, and now we have to write a poem. Now I'm assuming, just like looking from like these 3 down the side, I have to pick words that I want, like depending on who I want to be with, I have to pick the correct words. Now, I thought about between episodes, and I think I want to go with Yuri first, because she seems nice enough. Like, the other 2 seem a little bit too excitable for me for the moment. Now, Yuri has a thing for fantasy and horror, so I'm assuming that I have to find fantasy/horror words that go with her. So, unending is generally a good one. Yeah, see, she likes it. A lot of these are just like, I guess, kiddie words, like the 2 like types of words these 2 would like. I'm gonna go with shame. Okay, so it seems like Sayori like that. Okay, defeat, adventure, amazing. I think crimson would work. I'm not gonna go into that S word just yet. This disoriented and disaster. I think I'm gonna go with disoriented. Okay, she seems to like that. Starscape sounds like, yeah. Okay, she's enjoying what I have to say. So, disarray? Yep. Horror, obviously. Oh, okay. Natsuki wants to get in on this. Okay. Misfortune? Okay, Sayori. I think... Okay, here we go. We're getting on the right track now. So, frightening? Okay, yeah. I want to sort of get towards Yuri's portion of this. So, great. Yeah, okay. Hopeless, wrath, and entropy all seem to be good ones. I think I'm going to go with entropy. There we go. I've never been able to pronounce that correctly. Incongruent, I guess. Nightgown, aura, smile, vitality, vacation, vivacious, maybe? Yeah, okay, she seems to enjoy that. Ambient? Okay, yeah, she seems to enjoy what I have to say. Melancholy? Imagination? Okay, yeah, see, I'm getting there. Oh, okay, that's not something I was expecting. I think... Oh, okay. Oh, it's Monica, I think that I've been... I accidentally called her Sayori. I'm sorry, guys. It's Monica. Glad to see you didn't run away on us. Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but I at least keep my word. Well, I'm back at the literature club. I was the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Thanks for keeping your promise, Char. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you. Not at all. Making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it? Oh, come on, like he deserves any slack. Sayori told me you didn't even want to join any clubs this year. And last year, too. I don't know if you plan on just to come here or hang out or what, but if you don't take it seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Natsuki, you certainly have a big mouth as somebody who keeps her manga collection in the club room. Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga. Manga is literature? Yeah, I guess technically speaking it is. Swiftly defeated, Natsuki pops back into her seat. Don't worry, guys. Char always gives it his best as long as he's having fun. He helps me with busy work without me even asking. Like cooking, cleaning my room. How dependable. Sayori, that's because your room is so messy it's distracting. And you almost see your house on fire once. To be fair, that would be the sort of thing I would do. Is that so? You 2 really are good friends, aren't you? I might be a little jealous. How come you and Char can be good friends too? Sayori? As usual, Sayori seems to be oblivious to the weird situation she's just put me into. Yep. Oh, Yuri even bought you something today, you know? Wait, Sayori? Me? Not really. Don't be shy. It's really nothing. What is it? Never mind. Okay, that was a bit harsh even for my time. Sayori just made it sound like a big deal when it really isn't. What do I do? I'm sorry, Yuri, I wasn't thinking. I guess that means it's up to me to rescue the situation. Oh, great. Hey, don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place. So any nice gesture from you is a pleasant surprise. It'll make me happy no matter what. Is that so? Yeah, I won't make a big deal out of it if you don't want it to be. Alright. Well, here. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention even if you don't usually read. And we could, you know, discuss it if you wanted. This is... How is this girl accidentally being so cute? Really, Char? You're pondering on how somebody can be so accidentally cute. Oh my goodness. This game, I swear. She even picked out a book she thinks I like despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Phew. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone's settled in, I expected Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Sayori and Monica are having a cheery conversation in the corner, probably discussing the books. Yuri's face is already buried in a book, not surprising. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around the closet, probably looking for the said manga. Alright. I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a little bit more. But at the same time, I would feel bad from distracting her from reading. I catch a glimpse of the cover of the book. It looks like the same book she lent to me. More than that, she seems to be on the first few pages. What is this? Just like the music suddenly shifts and now... Crap. I think she noticed me staring at her. You weren't looking, you were staring, I could guarantee it. She sneaks another glance at me and our eyes meet for a split second. But that only makes her hide her face deeper in her book. Sorry, I was just spacing out. I muttered this, sensing I had made her feel uncomfortable. Oh, it's fine. If I was focused, then I probably wouldn't have noticed in the first place. But I'm just rereading a bit of this, so... That's the book you gave me, right? Mm-hmm. I want to reread some of it. Not for any particular reason. Just curious, how come you have 2 copies of the same book? Oh, just curious, how come do you have 2 copies of the same book? Well, when I stopped at the bookstore yesterday... that's not what I meant! I mean, I just happened to buy 2 of them. I see. There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decide to let it go. Yuri bought me a book. No clue why. She just did. She probably likes me. I'll definitely start reading it soon. I'm glad to hear. Once it starts picking up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging and relatable story. Is that so? What's it about anyway? Well, Yuri closes the book and scans her eyes over the back. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous looking eye symbol on the front cover. Alright, I just wanted to make sure I didn't accidentally give anything away. Basically, it's about this young girl in high school who moves in with her long lost younger sister, but as soon as she does so, her life gets really strange. She gets targeted by these people who escaped from a human experiment prison. And while her life is in danger, she needs to desperately choose who to trust. No matter what she does, she ends up destroying most of her relationships and her life starts to fall apart. That's a bit dark. That's kind of dark, isn't it? That's literally what I just said. I took the words right out of my mouth, Char. Yuri made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so that dark turn came from nowhere. Yuri gently giggles all of a sudden. Are you not a fan of that sort of thing, Char? No, it's not that. I mean, I can definitely enjoy these kinds of stories, so don't worry. I hope so. Yeah, I totally forgot Yuri was into these things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. It's just that those kinds of stories, they challenge you to look at life from a strange new perspective. When horrible things happen not just because the person wants to be evil, but because they have their own goals or their own philosophy that they believe in. Then suddenly, when you thought you related to the protagonist, they're made out to be the naive one for letting their one-sided morals interfere with the villain's plans. I'm rambling, aren't I? Not again. I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. Actually, don't apologize. I haven't lost any interest. I haven't lost interest or anything. That's actually some fairly good points she's made. Well, I guess it's alright then. But I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts, I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. So I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange. And please stop me if I start talking too much. I don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. That's the least I can do is listen. It is a literature club after all. That's true. In fact, I might as well get started reading it, right? You don't have to. What are you saying? Just a moment ago you said you were looking forward to it. Just let me get the book. I quickly retrieved the book that I had put into my bag. Alright, it's fine if I sit here, right? I slip into the seat next to Yuri's. Yeah. Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive. Yeah, you do seem relatively apprehensive, in fact. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just something I'm not very used to. That is, reading in company with someone. I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. I'm probably going to be the one that's ended up distracted. Alright. I open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means by about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing. Maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri is in the corner of my eye. I realise that she's not actually looking at her own book. She's staring at mine. I glance over. It looks like she's reading from my book instead. Sorry. I was just... Yuri, you really do apologise a lot, don't you? You do. Are you Canadian by any chance? I know that's just slightly, you know. I do? I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean... Here, this should work, right? I slide my desk until it's up against Yuri's, then hold my book between the two of them. I suppose so. Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we lean in a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. It feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead I use my right hand to hold the book open. I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the page. Here. Oh, that's a nice scene. Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of her book between her thumb and forefinger. I do the same with my right arm on the right hand side of the book. That way, when I turn a page and Yuri slides it under... That way, I turn a page and Yuri slides it under her thumb as it flips to her side. But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face and she's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready? Huh? To turn the page. Sorry. I think I got a little distracted for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face again and our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. That's okay. You're not as used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a little longer. It's probably the least I can do, since you've been so patient with me. Hey, it's not a problem at all. Yeah. Thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she finishes the page before me, so I turn it by my own volition. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey Yuri. This might be a silly thought, but the main character reminds me of you a little bit. Actually, hang on, before we get to that point, I just realised something. I'm letting go of the page from the right hand side and she's holding it under her thumb, which means they're clearly reading some type of English book. Because as far as I'm aware, in Japan, which I assume which is what this game is sort of based off of, considering it's got that anime sort of vibe-ish thing to it, that most Japanese books read from right to left and the pages turn from left to right, if that makes any sense. It's like the opposite of what Western books are like. You think so? How does she? Well, she's more blunt in a lot of ways, but she also second guesses all the things that she says and does. Like she's afraid she'll do something wrong. It's not like I can see into your head or anything, but they're kind of reminiscent of some of your mannerisms. I see. Yuri remains silent for a moment. Okay, we're standing up apparently, but Char, that's probably a terrible thing to have in common with her. It's so embarrassing that you think that. Wait, I didn't mean it in a bad way or anything. Sorry, I really didn't know that you were self-conscious about that sort of thing. I guess I more meant that it's kind of cute. What are you saying all of a sudden? Okay, everyone. Oh, God damn it, Monica. Poor Yuri's so shocked. I think it's about time we shared today's poems with each other. We might not have enough time for wait too long. Yuri exhales, spared from finishing her thought. Is that alright, Yuri? You look kind of down. I'm sorry if you haven't been looking forward to this. It's fine. Yuri releases her hand from the book, causing it to close on top of my thumb. Alright. I guess I'll do some more reading tonight. Or would you prefer if I only read it with you? I guess I don't have too much of a preference either way. In that case, I'll read a little more tonight. It'll be more fun to read with you after it picks up a bit, you know? That's good reasoning. In that case, feel free to finish the first 2 chapters in your own time. Alright. I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off the book, then slip it back into my bag. By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night? Yeah. My relaxation ends. Yep. That's pretty much it. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. I couldn't really find much inspiration since I've never really done this before. Well, now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share it with? I can't wait! Sayori and Monica enthusiastically pull out their poems. Sayori's is on a wrinkled sheet of loose leaf torn from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monica wrote hers in a composition notebook. I can already see Monica's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. I do the same myself. Who should I show my poem to first? I mean, the poem was intended for Yuri, so I would assume I'd have to go with her first. Yuri seems the most experienced, so I should start with her. That's a fair point. I can trust her opinion to be fair. Yeah, I guess so. As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes lighten. Exceptional. Huh? What was that? Did I say that out loud? Yuri covers her mouth, but then ends up covering her whole face. He's going to hate me. Oh yeah, that's right, I forgot I was playing as a male in this case. You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri. But that's... I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for? Yeah, why are you getting so nervous, Yuri? Yuri takes a breath. So, what kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imagery and metaphors indicates that you've written a lot of poetry before. Really? Wow, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time, really. Huh? Yuri stares at me blankly, then looks at my poem again. Well, I know that. I just meant, Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. She traces her finger along the words in the poem as if breaking it down more thoroughly. Yeah, okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that here, there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognise in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they try to form-fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone, and she sounds like an expert. Unlike me, who's been stammering this entire goddamn video. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. I mean, I guess. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little biased though. Biased? How? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri's apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. Probably all three. Do you mind if I read you a poem now? I guess Natsuki can be a little bit biased in Yuri's eyes because of the fact that I think Natsuki is the one that likes all the bubbly stuff in this case. Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily as if this was a rare opportunity for her, which is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? That's a fair point. Ghost under the light. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow, bathing. It must be this one. The last remaining streetlight to have withstood the test of time. The last to yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe, calm, breathing air of the present, but living in the past. The light flickers. I flicker back. Okay, that's cool. I'm sorry if I have such terrible handwriting. No, actually your handwriting was really good. Mine is just absolute chicken scratch compared to yours. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. But it took you such a long time to read. It was literally only like 2 minutes. Well, I guess I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. Huh? That's a relief. Also, I like the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive. It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest, since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghosts, Yuri? Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Char. Really? I mean, it's not really a ghost unless you count Ghosts of the Past. I must have totally missed the point. Yeah, you probably did. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all. But remember that poets often express their thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more solemn when putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive. Huh? It's nothing, really. Yours is impressive too, so... Nah. If anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you. You think so? Yeah, of course. You know, I was really nervous about doing all this, but in the end, I enjoyed it. I'm going to keep doing my best for you, Char. Me too. Okay. And anyways, on that rather pleasant note, that's where I'm going to have to leave off this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you've enjoyed, set by, set like and subscribe down below. Recommend more games for you, and I will see you all in the next video. As Yuri reads a poem, I notice her eyes lighten. Exceptional. Oh my god, Charlie, this is like the worst time, like ever. God.